Have you ever held a piece of paper that felt heavier than a tombstone? I have. It was a credit card statement, and on it, a charge for a divorce lawyer. The problem was, it wasn't for my divorce. It was for his. My wife Sarah was paying for it with our money. Silence when I asked her about the charge was the loudest sound I've ever heard. It was the sound of my world collapsing. Gosh. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel, tell us where you're from, and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. The first crack in our 10-year marriage appeared not with a bang, but with a whisper. It was at my own company's annual gala at the Drake Hotel off Michigan Avenue. I was accepting an award, a milestone in my career. I looked out at the crowd, searching for Sarah's face, my rock, my biggest supporter. Instead, I saw her in a corner, laughing a little too closely with Mark, a junior executive from another department. The way she touched his arm, the way he leaned in, it wasn't just friendly. A cold dread washed over me. When our eyes met across the room, she didn't smile. She looked annoyed, like I'd caught her doing something I wasn't supposed to see. The humiliation was a physical blow right there in front of my colleagues. After that night, things changed. She started having late work meetings that she couldn't explain. She'd come home smelling of a cologne that wasn't mine, her phone always face down on the nightstand. One evening, I casually picked it up to pass it to her, and she lunged for it like a cornered animal, her eyes flashing with a mix of fear and anger.
Oh.
"Don't touch my phone," she snapped. The woman I had loved for a decade was suddenly a stranger, a hostile one at that. The real discovery began slowly, like a poison seeping into my veins. It started with a receipt I found in her coat pocket from a boutique hotel on Rush Street. A single night, 2 glasses of champagne on the room service bill. We lived 10 minutes away. There was no reason for her to be there. Then came the text messages I glimpsed over her shoulder. "Can't wait to see you. He has no idea. Last night was incredible." The name at the top was M. Mark. The pieces of the puzzle were clicking into place, forming a picture I didn't want to see. When I tried to talk to her, to understand the distance growing between us, she turned into a master manipulator. She'd twist my words, call me paranoid, jealous, controlling. "You're suffocating me," she'd say, her voice dripping with contempt. "Maybe if you were more exciting, I wouldn't need to have dinner with my friends so often." She made me feel like I was the one breaking our marriage. My suspicions were the problem, not her actions. She made me question my own sanity. They became brazen, arrogant. I saw Mark's car parked a block from our Lincoln Park home one afternoon. I saw them having lunch together near his office, holding hands across the table, thinking they were invisible. They moved through my city, my world, as if I were a ghost, completely irrelevant to their passionate affair. They believed they were untouchable, smarter than the devoted, boring husband at home paying the bills. And the worst part? I let them believe it. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. I had the flu, a miserable, shaking fever. I called Sarah, hoping she'd come home early from work. "I can't," she said, her voice cool and distant. "I have a huge deadline." Hours later, a friend texted me a photo. It was a candid shot from a Cubs game at Wrigley Field. There was Sarah beaming, her arm wrapped around Mark's waist, both of them wearing matching jerseys. He was kissing her temple. And in her other hand, she was holding a hot dog, just like she always did. She wasn't at work. She was on a date while I was sick in bed. The betrayal was so complete, so mundane, it shattered me. I sat on the edge of our bed and just broke. The sobs came from a place so deep I didn't know it existed. The man who built a successful company felt like a complete and utter failure. But as the tears dried, something else took their place. Ice. A cold, clear, calculated rage. The grief was gone, replaced by a singular purpose. My breakdown was over. Oh, it was time to get to work. I became a ghost in my own life. I stopped asking questions. I smiled, played the part of the oblivious husband. But every night, after she fell asleep, my real work began. I installed recovery software on our home computer. I meticulously downloaded every text, every email. I hired a private investigator who documented every secret lunch, every hotel stay, every kiss. Even got photos of them entering a divorce lawyer's office together. The final piece fell into place when I cross-referenced our credit card statements with the PIS report. Not only was she meeting him, but she was paying for everything. Their fancy dinners, their hotel rooms, and most damningly, the retainer for Mark's divorce lawyer. She was using our joint savings, my money, to dismantle another man's family so she could have him. With a mountain of evidence, I consulted the best divorce attorney in Chicago. We didn't just plan for a divorce, we planned for total annihilation. In Illinois, dissipation of marital assets is a serious offense. My lawyer's eyes lit up when he saw the receipts for Mark's legal fees. We prepared a comprehensive filing that detailed every dollar she had stolen from our shared future to fund her affair. But that was just the legal trap. The social one was next. The stage was set for our 10th anniversary party, K-party she had insisted on, a grand affair to show everyone how perfect our life was. We rented a stunning venue overlooking the Chicago River. Everyone was there, our families, our friends, my business partners, her entire social circle. She was radiant in a new dress paid for by our credit card, of course preening and holding my hand for the cameras. After the toasts, I stood up, microphone in hand, and smiled. "I have one final toast to make," I began, my voice steady. "To my beautiful wife, Sarah." Everyone cheered. "She has taught me so much about commitment, so much, in fact, that she has extended her generosity beyond our marriage." A confused murmur rippled through the crowd. I looked directly at Mark, who was standing near the bar, looking smug. "For example," I continued, "she's been so committed to helping our good friend Mark here through a tough time. She's been so supportive, she even helped pay for his divorce lawyer." I paused as a giant screen behind me flickered to life. The first image was a high-resolution photo of Sarah and Mark kissing outside the hotel on Rush Street. Gasps filled the room. The next slide was a copy of our credit card statement, with the lawyer's fees highlighted in bright red. Then a photo of them holding hands at the Cubs game. The slideshow continued, a brutal, undeniable timeline of their betrayal, all set to the cheesy love song they had first danced to. Sarah's face went from confused to horrified, to a mask of pure ashen shock. Her parents stared, mouths agape. Mark tried to slip out, but all eyes were on him. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just stood there, frozen, as her entire world burned down around her in a room full of people she had lied to. The legal fallout was swift. The judge awarded me almost all the marital assets due to her blatant dissipation. She lost her friends, her reputation, and her family's respect in a single night. Mark, fired from his job for an ethics violation I anonymously reported with proof of their affair, wanted nothing to do with her once the money was gone. She was left with nothing but the consequences of her choices. The last time I saw her, she was moving her things out of our house into a small, cheap apartment. Her arrogance was gone, replaced by a hollowed-out emptiness. She didn't look at me. She couldn't. And as I closed the door on that chapter of my life, the house was finally quiet again. The end.